Hey guys, welcome to round 5 of the St. Petersburg tournament in 1895. Lasker is now 3-1. He lost that first game, but he's reeled off 3 straight victories. And it's white to move here. I want you guys to pause your video, tell me what move you would play for white. So, okay, I'm going to show you now. So Lasker's playing Chigorin, and this is a key moment. Every now and then in chess, it's not about finding the best move, it's about not finding a bad move. In this position, there's a move that looks pretty good, but it's actually pretty bad. That move is f5. It looks nice, right? We're gaining space, but in the game, white simply went king f3. By the way, black has some small advantage here. 2 bishops. White has no real active play. The bishop on d2 is not so great. So after king f3, white just stayed solid, closed up the position, and drew the game relatively easily by just moving his bishop back and forth. Black was never able to do anything, and they agreed to a draw. However, this move f5 looks active, but it only helps black. And that's the thing. You have to realize when it makes sense to be active and aggressive, and when it's not, when it actually helps your opponent. Because f5 is a very kind of normal move to think about and to want to make. However, after bishop g5, now we have an issue. The issue is black's threatening bishop takes knight and bishop f5. Now, admittedly, that position might be drawn. It's bishops are opposite. So let's say you do this, okay? And this is the sorry, at some point we will make sure not to hang our... We'll make sure we don't lose our c-pawn at the end of that variation. I'm just trying to figure this out exactly. Oh, my apologies. We're not actually threatening bishop takes knight. We're threatening to just take the pawn. That's even easier. And now we're threatening bishop c1 followed by taking on b2 and a3. Basically, it just creates a lot of problems for white. Probably the only one idea is king e1, and then like c4, for example, followed by some kind of move like bishop takes knight. Another idea, by the way, after king e1 might be check and bishop g3, putting pressure on the e-pawn. That's probably even a better idea. So f5 just suddenly gives lots of opportunities to the opponent. But what about g4? This move seems to hold everything together. But now black plays a move g6. And the idea is to do the same thing as before. Take this pawn and then take it with the bishop. And if white makes any movement with this f-pawn, like either f6 or pawn takes pawn, let's say f6, although it's worse than pawn takes pawn, now the king comes to e6, and we're overextended, and the e5 pawn is very weak. So the key to this position, and I like positions like this to show students, basically, you show them a position and you ask them what normal-looking move is actually a bad move. Because part of chess is actually recognizing moves that are bad. If you can do that, it helps you find good moves, and it helps you avoid playing those bad moves in your game. So, I mean, I think John Nunn once wrote a book where there's a chapter called Find the Loss. I actually think this is relatively useful exercise. Another reason it is because traps are an important part of chess. And if you see a variation where your opponent has like a trap they could fall into, a positional or tactical trap, it's really nice to see those things in advance and kind of like steer your opponent towards these not great moves. So thanks for watching. And again, Lasker played just normally, moved his pieces around back and forth and drew pretty easily. But that f5 move, this is overextending white's position, and white does not have the ability to maintain those advanced pawns here. See you next time. Bye-bye.